Right, ladies and gentlemen, MrSotko here. Welcome back to the channel. Got a whole bunch of good crypto news stuff for you today. And the first thing that I want to talk about is, well, FPGAs and ASICs. I guess that's sort of the MO of the day here. So game-changing endothermic mining rigs unveiled by Luxembourg startup. So from Onminer's SA, launching a new generation of endothermic cryptocurrency mining rigs that promise high power and low energy consumption. So new companies and new technologies are entering the crypto mining space with the aim of lowering costs and energy consumption. Onminer is one such company based in Luxembourg that was founded by a group of financiers that have invested in the creation of a new generation of endothermic multi-algorithm chips, so essentially FPGAs. So the main focus that I want to talk about here is the On2U, the On4U, and the On Tower. And these are pretty wild. So the On2U has 140 terahash for Bitcoin, 38 gigahash for Litecoin, 5 gigahash for Ethereum, 230 kilohash for Monero, 1.3 terahash for Dash. And for the On4U is just they're just more powerful as they go. So for example, the On4 has 270 terahash for Bitcoin, 9 gigahash for Ethereum, etc. The On Tower has 1620 terahash for Bitcoin, so essentially 1.6 exahash for Bitcoin, and 450 gigahash for Litecoin, 54 gigahash for Ethereum. Unbelievable. So you might think to yourself, maybe these don't actually exist. No, they certainly do on onminers.com. You can go and get yourself one today for the very low price of the first On2U at $4,500 a pop. 140 terahash of Bitcoin is pretty real. So 140 terahash. So again, I don't know the power consumption of these, so I'm just going with 2,000 watts. We're just going to go with that, and we're just going to look at the profit per day. So that's about $17 profit per day on a $4,500 machine. So now we're not going to really look at too much at Ethereum. You can do the math yourself. And the On4U is $6,500. That's 270 terahash. 270 terahash, you're making about $38 a day. And again, by the time you receive these, it's probably going to be less anyway. It's just usually always the way it goes, or they'll end up mining on them themselves, but who knows. And then the On Tower is just a cool $30,000. It's only $30,000, guys. Why aren't you ordering 3 of these? God, don't you guys have cell phones? Come on. Bitcoin at 1,620 terahash. So if you just put it into a calculator, mind you, these calculators aren't always exact. And again, I don't know the power consumption of it and the cost per kilowatt, etc. So we're just going to kind of abandon that because it could cost you more electricity depending on where you live, and somebody else could cost them less. So we're not going to do that. $261 a day in Bitcoin. 1,620 terahash. That blows away anything on the market. Nothing even comes close to that. I think the B miner, I can't remember what it's called, but it was 50 terahash. But that was very inefficient. It was like 2,400 or 2,200 watts to run that, so it was actually really inefficient. So unbelievable, these miners. So again, why aren't you picking up 3 of these today? Moving on to other news. Bitmain releases another Equihash miner with 3 times more powerful than its predecessor. So they released the Z11. So you guys remember the Z9 Mini, which, well, really wasn't so mini. It was still kind of a big machine. And that was 10,000 souls. 10K souls, and according to the company specifications, the Antminer Z11 offers hashing power of 135,000 souls. So which is 3 times greater than the Z9, which is honestly actually even more than the Z9, because the Z9 was 10K soul, and 3 times greater than that would be even more. Am my math wrong? My math is probably totally wrong. Maybe they're just talking about the efficiency or something like that. But either way, the InnoSilicon miner for Equihash was 50,000 soul. So This one is actually pretty good. And usually Bitmain, unfortunately, I have to say, because Bitmain is just, nobody likes Bitmain anymore, but their miners are the best when it comes to their efficiency. Because one thing you have to look at, you might think, well, why would I buy an S15 miner over like the B miner that was 50 terahash? Well, that thing operates at like 2400 watts or 2200 watts, something like that. I can't remember. I looked it up once, which is insanely inefficient. So you're going to be losing money daily on the electricity that thing's going to consume, whereas the S15 is like 25 terahash at only like 12 or 1400 watts, something like that. So it's just way more efficient in terms of the electricity per what you're going to get. And just it's just usually the case with all their miners. Their miners are usually pretty good, and people try to make like stronger miners, but the electricity goes through the roof when you do that. So the On2U miners apparently use 120 or 250. Oh, we can actually see the power consumption. So 600 watts. Plus or minus 7%, which is just incredibly efficient for 140 terahash. So if these things are real, these are totally going to change the game. So I didn't actually realize that they showed the operating. So only 18 decibels. Only 18 decibels, whereas the S9 miners and things like that are probably well over 100. They sound like a vacuum cleaner. If you guys have never heard what the ant miners and various other ASICs sound like, and these are FPGAs, but either way, almost the same category. They do sound like a vacuum cleaner, incredibly loud. So the On4 uses 1200 watts, so quite a big jump for 270 terahash, but that's still just not even close, 20 decibel. And the On Tower, it does not actually say. You might need to use like 220, noiseless and no heat. It just says there's no, it doesn't say the actual usage of this. So I'm assuming it's probably like 2,000 watts at least. I would have to say it's probably at least 2,000 watts. You probably need to run it like 220 kind of deal. So lots of ASICs hitting the scene recently, and because of this new EcoHash miner, supposedly the price of EcoHash has been going up, or the Zcash has been going up. And it has, but it's only up to like 4 or 5%, which isn't too unusual. So I don't know if I would really correlate that to Zcash. Maybe people are just excited and the hype, and people are just buying into it for some reason. But other than that, not too unusual. So another unusual story here is Craig Wright's Twitter activity stopped, account suspended, or rage quit. So Craig Wright claimed the protected nature of his Twitter account meant that the bot fake Toshi was in fact breaking copyright law and stealing intellectual property. After abandoning the Professor Faustus persona over the weekend, Wright briefly moved to another protected account, which was also suspended. Currently, the most flamboyant true Satoshi claimant has abandoned his followers and ceased his Twitter activity. Not surprising. As I recently just said that, hey, you're not somebody unless you go on Twitter and you get banned and blocked by Craig Wright. I'm blocked by Craig Wright. Are you? If you're not, you're just not in the crypto world, okay? Go on there. Why don't you post a nice GIF that'll make them, block you? And I don't mean to do that. That's bullying. But still, if you ever try to say anything to Craig Wright, if you ever try to even just say it's like something constructive or something that disagrees with him, he instantly blocks you. So anybody that's ever tried to argue in the crypto space has been essentially blocked by Craig Wright. Now, the disappearance of the account is seen as either a suspension or a rage quit based on unauthorized tweeting of his activity, because Wright was in the habit of blocking many followers. Yeah, exactly. The @bot fake Toshi, I keep wanting to say it the other way, but anyway, Twitter managed to relay the tweets. Wright was against the sharing and attacks against his ideas. Yeah, you think so? If you say anything, even if you're just like, hey, do you really think that it needs that big a block size? Blocked. It doesn't matter. Like anything you say, like he would just block you essentially. So Fake Toshi bot editor's note, that's all from me, at least for a while. I didn't expect him to nuke his 60k followers all because of a little bot. If you think I did the world a service by decreasing Fake Toshi's following, please consider buying me a beer. So the Fake Toshi bot apparently made him rage quit. I don't know. So the Professor Faustus Twitter handle stirred multiple controversies, from initially supporting Bitcoin Cash as the real Bitcoin to later moving to support Bitcoin SV as the real Bitcoin. Right? If you were Satoshi, you would definitely disavow your Bitcoin that you made. Right? You wouldn't like just get a hold of the developers and be like, "Hey guys, I don't like the way this is going. I'm Satoshi. I think it should go this way." Right? No, you would just support the Bitcoin Cash that somebody else totally made that had nothing to do with you. Right? And then you'd be like, of course, because if you made Bitcoin, right, and then somebody else made Bitcoin Cash and forked it, you'd be like, no, that's the real Bitcoin, right? Of course you would. And then later on, you would make your own Bitcoin SV after you made Bitcoin the first time, right? Apparently, and then you'd be like, no, this is the real Bitcoin. The fork from a fork, which offered different rules for the network, Wright went on to support large blocks and known dedicated miners. Wright also shifted his views on what exactly Bitcoin was and which network had the claims to the primacy. He even threatened to have mechanisms to destroy the project. He says, well, I plan to allow BTC to die slowly so some could get out, because he was selling it off for the SV Bitcoin Cash War, which took us from like 6,000 to 3,000. So thank him for that. But I guess that it will be accelerated with idiots who are going to end in court. So this is regarding the court date that he has versus the Climate Estate over well over $1 billion worth of Bitcoin. And if he loses that, he'll have to give up over $1 billion of Bitcoin. If he owns it, I don't know what he's going to do, but I think this is regarding the fact that he's going to destroy the price of Bitcoin because he's going to court. So if the price of Bitcoin absolutely plummets below 3,000 or something like that, it's probably because of Craig Wright selling off $1 billion of Bitcoin because of this whole court case. So, you know, it goes on to say that he tried to provide proof that he was Satoshi Nakamoto, but it was pretty clear that it was nonsense. So very interesting. So he basically gave up on Twitter for now, or at least he's going away for a little while, taking a break, and now threatening to destroy Bitcoin during this court case, which he might end up selling it off in mass and then just paying them money if he loses the court case. I don't know how it's going to go, but I'm actually pretty curious as to how it's going to go. So, you know, during July, I think it's in July, the court case is going to go on in Florida. And I will definitely report on that as news comes out from that. So moving on here, Quadrica CX co-founder Michael Patron is actually convicted criminal Omar Donani. So Donani, I don't know. But anyway, so I talked about this a couple weeks back, that one of the co-founders of Quadrica is a known felon and fraudster. So now it's come out that that is just totally true. So a co-founder of controversial Quadrica CX exchange reportedly involved in multiple criminal activities in the past. Michael Patron, who co-founded Canadian crypto exchange. Why is it always these criminals and these fraudsters, these felonious individuals that are always making up these crypto schemes like Vergecoin and just like everything else, like just everything under the sun, just name it, you know what I mean? And it's always these fraudsters. Oh, Craig Wright, we were just talking about, that make crypto. Is it just because the whole paradigm of crypto, the whole environment of crypto is very easy to scam people? Probably. So Quadrica CX, along with Gerald Cotton in 2013, is who he founded it with. So was previously known as Omar Donani, a person that was involved in multiple crimes in the United States. $145 million in clients. His crypto was found to be missing from Quadrica, and its co-founder and CEO Cotton died at the age of 30 from Crohn's. The exchange is now ongoing legal and financial proceedings amid the controversy over the missing funds, appointed Ernst & Young as the independent creditors. So Patron reportedly left Quadrica CX in 2016, citing a fundamental disagreement with Cotton over the listing processes for the firm. According to the Canadian newspaper Globe and Mail, Patron and his lover, Lovey Horner, remain two of the Quadrica CX's largest shareholders, although he has not had any involvement in the company's operations since 2016. While Patron has recently denied the allegations that he and Donani are the same person, Bloomberg reportedly acquired official Canadian records saying that Patron legally changed his name twice, first losing his last name, Donani, and then replacing his first name, Omar, in 2003 and in 2008. So Donani, one of the alleged past identities of Patron, were reportedly sentenced to 18 months in federal prison for being involved in the identity theft related to bank and credit card fraud. in 2005. According to the Bloomberg, 22-year-old Donani pled guilty to operating a shadowcrew.com in 2002, a now defunct marketplace that trafficked over 1.5 million stolen credit card and bank numbers. In 2007, Donani also admitted guilt in separate criminal cases for burglary, grand larceny, and computer fraud. So I wouldn't be surprised if this guy was stealing a little bit of crypto throughout the portion, but that's just basically allegations on my part and just thoughts. But yeah, this isn't surprise. This is not surprising in the least that Quadriga CX goes under with a one-man laptop operation that goes under $200 million or so. Now missing. It used to be 190 million. Now it says 145 million. So whatever, 150 million dollars missing in crypto because somebody died from Crohn's disease. Why would you go to India when you have Crohn's disease anyway to work on some orphanage just after you married somebody and put a gigantic will? It's the shadiest death I've ever seen. It's just not surprising at all. I don't know why anything is surprising. Like, nothing is shocking anymore. It's like that, what is that Jane's Addiction album? Nothing shocking. Nothing is shocking anymore in the crypto world. Nothing. It's like whatever came across, like no matter what news article comes across, it's just not going to affect me anymore. $141 billion market cap. Everything in the green today. And I wanted to show you Zcash up by about 5%. It is sort of pumping pretty good there, but supposedly because of the the ASICS coming, so people are kind of getting hyped about it. But you can see that many other coins are pumping even more than that. So it's not necessarily just Zcash. Zcash isn't even at the top of the pumps today. Ravencoin is even higher. Ethereum Classic, Siacoin, Cardano. So other things pumping even more. So we are at $4,078 Bitcoin. And, I don't know how long it's going to last. We haven't seen too many major whale purchases. This is kind of whale purchase E, although not totally straight up. But 41, 4,200, it might dip again. I'd like to remain bullish and see it go up even more. But for the most part, for the past year, it's been 4,100, 4,200, and then dip back to 38 or 3,600. So I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. I usually have sell orders around that period, not financial advice, but that's just me. I usually have sell orders around that time because it's been doing that for about a year now. But who knows? Any day, any day now, any week now, any month now, it could just continue shooting back up. Who knows when the bull market is going to come? But for now, either way. But that's all I have for you guys. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the video, my social media in the description below. Follow me on those if you get the opportunity to do so. But hope you guys enjoyed it. And as usual, I will see you guys next time.